WWE spoils a major title match on last night's Raw, plus a top Raw star returned on last night's show, and a title match has been added to Money in the Bank. It's all in the Cultaholic wrestling news right now. WWE acquired AAA at the start of the year, and we're going to start to see what their plans look like on telly next month when we have WWE versus AAA Worlds Collide. A match was set for Worlds Collide last night.
Bloody Vikingos popping up here, there, and everywhere these days. We saw them over the weekend, of course, but we also saw them during last night's Raw when Chad Gable was in a triple threat match trying to qualify for Money in the Bank. Vikingo kicks Gable in the face, costs him the match. Basically, Penta goes on to Money in the Bank, which we'll get on to a bit later there, Tom. But there's some goings on with title belts. Who holds what? Who will hold what in the upcoming future?
Yeah, so if you were watching on the stateside version of Raw and across Netflix, you would have seen that a graphic popped up for Chad Gable versus Vikingo for WWE versus AAA Worlds Collide, advertised as a AAA Mega Championship match. Here's the thing. Neither of those men are the AAA Mega Champion.
Who is, Tom?
That would be Alberto El Patron.
Alberto Del Patron.
Alberto El Patron is the reigning AAA Mega Champion, and he is set to defend that belt against Vikingo at the end of this month, which kind of gives away what's going to happen there, in case you weren't sure.
But there is a reason for this, apparently, because it's been speculated by Ravy Davey Meltzer himself, basically putting it down to the knowledgeable wrestling fans not being so knowledgeable.
Yeah, he says they only showed the AAA Mega title part of the graphic on the US and the UK versions of WWE television, thinking that us silly fans who aren't in Mexico won't know there's been won't know that there's a different champion, and they won't question it at all because we're all very silly, and not one of us looks at cage match. Big shout to the guys that run cage match.
Or even if we do know, we just won't care that Alberto El Patron hasn't got the title.
I mean, there is that. And he has held that title since August of last year. And he was rumoured to be part of WWE's acquisition of AAA. Lots of stories that went around saying that he was reportedly signed to be part of the AAA brand. This announcement of the fact that Vikingo versus Chad Gable is going to be for the AAA Mega Championship suggests that if El Patron is to stay on in AAA, it won't be as champion, at least.
Shocking.
That is, if he stays on at all. I guess we're going to find out in the coming weeks what his relationship is.
You've got to say, there's little chance of him appearing on a WWE show. Like, AAA might run shows still that aren't like having WWE names on, like good and proper. He might slip here on them, but you can't see him being on the Netflix, can you?
Do you know what? I really can't. and I'm sure that news is being taken in that party perfectly well today. Meanwhile, on Raw last night, as reported yesterday, Liv Morgan did indeed pop up back on Monday nights after being away filming Lieutenant Tokyo, Bad Lieutenant Tokyo, and caught Dirty Dom in a compromising position.
He's not just a chicken tendy slut, is Dom. It turns out he's a slut for the ladies as well, because in this clubhouse scene we see Roxanne Perez not only attempt to hand Dom some more chicken nuggets, but also notice that Dom's shoulder's looking a little bit tight. She's like, come here, Dom, let me massage your shoulder. Then we hear Konnichiwa off the screen, which is Liv Morgan saying hello. She actually said Konnichiwa because she's been doing that film over there, and of course time differences and all that stuff has been a part of the storyline, hasn't it?
It has indeed. As she came in, looked quite upset with what was going on. Roxanne went to explain herself and got shushed by Liv Morgan. And Morgan said, look, I'm going to deal with this another time. I know what's been going on because Raquel's been telling me what's going on. Anyway, worry about that another time. I'm off to get a qualifying match for the Money in the Bank.
And Finn Balor was going radio rental in his little seat there. He was just happy that Liv Morgan was upset, seemingly. He
seemed delighted with that news. Morgan would later that night lose to Kyrie, saying this comes after Roxanne Perez and Raquel Rodriguez were arguing at ringside that led to Morgan getting distracted. And it is a bad time in the clubhouse right now. I'll tell you that much, Ross.
Bloody well, it's Tom. It's an epidemic on the main roster currently. I guess all tag teams in the WWE. How many of them get along these days? The New Day like each other. The Creeds like each other. The Vikings like each other. Everyone else is arguing.
Yep. Everyone else.
Pretty Deadly like each other.
Okay, Pretty Deadly like each other.
There's a couple on SmackDown,
Machine Guns like each other.
I'm saying there's a lot of teams who don't like each other, but are still together because of tag teams.
Basically, the majority of the roster at the moment is a tag team that doesn't get on or horny on main. That's all there is on WWE, particularly in NXT, whatever they're putting in the water there. Also last night, and as Ross alluded to, Penta. What was that little snort there I did? That was fun, wasn't it?
Penta.
Penta qualified for Money in the Bank last night. So congratulations to him. He will enter that match, as will Seth Rollins, who defeated Sami Zayn and Finn Balor in a triple threat. So they join LA Knight and Solo Sikoa in the men's ladder match. We'll talk on the card in a little bit. We've also had a title match added to Money in the Bank as well.
It's the Women's Intercontinental title. We've got a promo segment last night between Becky Lynch and Lyra Valkyria, and of course the personal jibes are thrown at one another. Lyra saying the only talented person in your family is your husband. Becky calls Lyra's partner a weird little fiance. The barbs are being thrown there, Tom.
LJ Cleary getting some shots lately, and I don't think he flipping deserves it. The man's fantastic. Leave him be. He's my boy. Lots of barbs and a match set with some rather special stips. So the Women's Intercontinental title is going to be on the line at Money in the Bank. It's Becky versus Lyra. Should Becky lose that match, she can never challenge for the Women's Intercontinental title. Should Lyra lose the title to Becky, Lyra has to raise Becky's hand in victory.
It could go either way.
Really, I see Becky taking it from Lyra.
Probably.
Because Bayley's on the comeback trail. I think we maybe get over SummerSlam time, Becky versus Bayley for the Women's IC title, which it kind of leaves Lyra a bit out in the cold, which I don't think is very fair, but I think that's kind of where they're going.
Yeah, and this run has been good for Lyra. Like, she really has come out of her shell, so to speak. A bird with a shell.
Oh, those would be the ones that you beat up in Mario.
Probably, Tom.
The little paracoopers.
I'll nod and smile and pretend to know what you're talking about.
Paracoopers, they're the ones. Birds with shells. Oh, and put a picture of a Paracooper trooper. There they go. They're the bad boys. So the men's match in the Money in the Bank was added to last night. Any of those from last night you think could potentially win it? Seth Rollins, maybe Penta.
Do you reckon they're tempted to put it on Rollins just so that new stable has got everything?
Ooh, potential.
I don't know. It's all up in the air, Tom. It could go any way.
I like the idea of Penta maybe winning it. Please keep sending me the videos of Penta walking down the ring to Smooth Operator by Sade. I think it's the best thing in wrestling right now.
Can we just say about that match last night? If you don't want to watch it all of Raw, that's fair enough. But watch that match last night, because in terms of a WWE match, rarely has there been a match where more people have been dropped on their head. Chad Gable somehow walked away from when Penta was doing a double move. We're seeing, obviously, bellies into the corner where Dragon Lee's landing on his head. Big stuff on the announce table. It was an incredible match for a Raw match.
It was really good for a Raw match. It certainly was. The Women's Money in the Bank match currently contains Rhea Ripley, Alexa Bliss, Roxanne Perez, Julia, and two more names, TBA.
Bliss is the favourite for me at the moment, just because of those rumblings with Charlotte Flair. I reckon she'll whizzle-wazzle Charlotte to becoming her youngling. Her sidekick. I don't know what the right word is, Tom. Brainwashing powers. You know what I mean?
Some whizzling and some wazzling that will lead to that one. And then, as was announced on Saturday night's main event, John Cena and Logan Paul will team to face Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso. Fair play to Cody. This is why Cody is the quarterback. It's a tiny little production-y thing that I noticed. They clearly had overrun on Saturday night's main event. Cody bombed out there and got that announcement out like super polished, super quick, but you could tell like he was against the clock to do it. I appreciated that at the end of Saturday night's main event.
I'm going to agree with the opinion that someone put into the Cultaholic Wrestling Podcast mailbag. The podcast went live yesterday for Double or Nothing and bloody Saturday night's main event and SmackDown. The reviews are on there on the YouTube channel now. This is a waste of a John Cena date.
Oh, do you reckon?
Yes. Who cares about this match? What's the stakes?
I mean, there is no stakes at all.
No.
What would you have done with John Cena instead? Maybe if Punk's not going to be Money in the Bank, you could have done Cena Punk there.
At Money in the Bank, it had to be. It was written in the stars there, Tom.
Is it that thing of maybe getting, I keep saying using Logan Paul's like name value to have him team with John Cena?
I think that's what they've done. They've got Saturday night's main event is obviously getting to a different audience. Logan Paul's there, who's got the name value anyway. Oh, let's try and keep people in by showing Logan Paul and then having Logan Paul alongside the names he's alongside here.
Yeah,
I can see that thought process. But again, CM Punk and Cena at Money in the Bank. Come on.
It would have been lovely. Tell you what is lovely, spending the afternoon watching Ross play football with the new Premier League side, Sunderland.
That's because I have a meltdown every single time I do it. And I've taken over Liverpool now. We're 3 weeks into Liverpool management because Sunderland didn't give me money to spend on players, Tom. So I said, go away. And I applied for the Liverpool job and got it because I'm a brilliant guy. So yes, that's 4 p.m. BST on the Hold and Give YouTube channel.
And for the very latest wrestling news at any time, you can check out Cultaholic.com. Stay safe. Love you. Bye.